Who were the best players in each league in 2023? That's what we're trying to answer today. From all of the 19 leagues I normally cover here and on my second channel, 3 leagues in East Asia, the 8 Caribbean Winter Leagues, the Summer Leagues of Mexico and Cuba, Major League Baseball, 4 European leagues, and the Australian League, 19 in all. We're just naming one player from each team, which means we got to choose between the best position player and the best pitcher, which makes for a really hard choice at times. I've normally just gone with the player, either pitcher or position player, who separated himself the most from the other league leaders. Most of these guys won their league's MVP award, but sometimes didn't. Sometimes the people voting on it don't get it right. About half of the players I'll name here come from the country they're playing in. The other half do not, and it's always interesting to see the path that led them to where they are now. Some of these guys have played in a lot of different countries. Most of them starred in MLB, or the MLB system, and while many of them did not find success in MLB, they found it years later in some other part of the world. Though I'm only covering my usual 19 leagues here today, if you know of any player worth mentioning, the best player in any league anywhere in the world, no matter what level of play it is, mention it in the comments below. In the Netherlands, the best player in the honkbal hoofdklasse was 24-year-old infielder Delano Salasa of HCAW. In 51 games, his line was 347, 409, 543 for an OPS of 953. 5 home runs, 16 doubles, 6 triples, 41 RBI, 49 runs scored, 31 stolen bases in 39 attempts. Played at first, second, third, short, left, and right, more at second than anywhere else. Salasa has spent his entire career in the hoofdklasse, from 2016 to 2018 with HCAW, 2019 to 2022 with the Amsterdam Pirates, then this year back with HCAW. In 2019 he was Holland Series MVP, in 2023 the Honkbal Hoofdklasse MVP, and during this off-season signed with the Quebec Capitals of the Frontier League. The best player in the Italian League has to be 35-year-old Cuban Jose Cuesta of Cagliari. In 34 games he hit 6 home runs and stole 13 bases, 61 out of 122 at the plate, a .500 average, .604 on base percentage, and a .795 slugging, for an OPS of 1399. Believe it or not, that was not the highest OPS in the league. Someone else had an OPS over 1400. Cuesta gets the nod here because of his work on the field. He played 13 games at third, 7 games at second, 3 games at first, and 7 games on the mound. As a pitcher, he appeared 7 times, totaled 11 innings with 18 strikeouts, ERA 3.27. Cuesta played in the Cuban National Series for Industriales from 2008 to 2020. He spent the last 3 summers in the Italian League with Cagliari. His hitting numbers have been getting better every year, but his best pitching season was in 2022. 12 games, 22 innings, and only 1 run allowed, ERA and WHIP of 0.41. There was no doubt who the best player in Czech Baseball Extraliga was in 2023. For the second year in a row, it was 31-year-old catcher Martin Cervenka, this year with Tempo Praha after playing last year with Eagles Praha. For the season, he batted .446 with 20 home runs and 70 RBI, easily topping the league in those 3 categories for the Triple Crown. Slash line of .446, .511, .881 for an OPS of 1392, WRC plus of 261, also a perfect 10 for 10 in stolen base attempts. Cervenka started out as a Cleveland Indians prospect and later joined the Orioles system. In 2019, in 12 games at AAA Norfolk, he had an .879 OPS. After the canceled 2020 minor league season, he landed in the Mets organization, but his season at AAA Syracuse didn't go well. 72 games, OPS .625. He then played 1 season in Lidom, and now the last 2 in Extraliga. He was also the starting catcher for the Czech Republic in this year's WBC. In Germany, the best players in Baseball Bundesliga this year were all pitchers. 48-year-old Cuban lefty Enorbel Marquez of the Berlin Flamingos was the MVP in the North. 43-year-old Yasutomo Kubo of the Hamburg Steelers, a 13-year NPB veteran, was given the Best Pitcher award in the North. But the one I'm going with for the best in all of Baseball Bundesliga is 35-year-old Canadian Jared Mortensen of the league champion Heidenheim Heideköpf. In his second Bundesliga season, Mortensen was 11-0 with a 1.41 ERA, 70 innings, 90 strikeouts, and 4 complete games. His 11 wins were 4 more than the next highest win total. His 90 strikeouts were 23 more than the next highest strikeout total. Also led the league in innings and complete games. For all that, he was named Best Pitcher in the South. Mortensen started his career as a Rays prospect, reached AAA in 2015 and again in 2017 in the Astros organization. He's played in the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Netherlands, France, and independent ball in Canada. Okay, now we move over to the winter leagues in the Caribbean. First up is Panama, and for this one I'll have to go with the best player from the 2022 to 23 season, because they haven't even started their season yet. The Pro Base season will start and end in January of 2024. Last year's season was played in December and January, so we can use it here. The best in Pro Base was 27-year-old outfielder Johnny Santos of Federales de Chiriquí. After leading the league in home runs and RBI, he was named MVP for the season, and led his team to the Pro Base title and a trip to the Caribbean Series. Santos reached the AAA level for the Marlins in 2019, but after that never returned to the Major League system. Every winter he goes back and plays in his native Panama. One winter league has started and finished its regular season. That one is Nicaragua's LBPN, just ended 2 days ago. 26-year-old American outfielder Jairus Richards of Tren del Norte led all hitters with a 1079 OPS, slash line 350, 535, 544. That 535 on base percentage, of course, led the league, helped out by his league-leading 38 walks. He was 4th in batting and 8th in slugging, 1st in stolen bases with 19. Number 2 on the league's stolen base leaders list had only 6. Richards never played in the Major League system. He's played in the Frontier League the last 3 years, struggled in his first season, little better in the second season, then had a breakthrough season last summer. 89 games, 16 home runs, 75 out of 88 in stolen base attempts. Line was 340, 472, 525. In Lidom, the Dominican Republic's Winter League, there are only 2 days left in the regular season. If I were choosing the best offensive player, I'd prefer to wait till the final day, since the league leaders are all pretty close. But the best one is a pitcher, and no one's going to pass him up in the final days. 36-year-old Panamanian Paulo Espino of Toros del Este could win the pitcher's triple crown. He'll definitely get the ERA crown. His 2.40 ERA is almost a full point better than number 2 on the list. He's part of a 5-way tie for the lead in wins. That has come in 9 starts, 48 2/3 innings. His total of 49 strikeouts tops the strikeout list, and he's got a whip of 0.90. Espino played in 5 Major League seasons between 2017 and 2023. From 2020 to 2022 with the Washington Nationals, his ERA was over 4 every year, but always well under 5. Then last summer he allowed 11 runs in just 4 innings, and was let go by the team. He played 5 winters in Venezuela earlier in his career. This is his 6th season in Lidom, but his first time in 3 years. In Puerto Rico's LBPRC, 1 more week left in the season. No real dominant hitter, so once again we're going with a pitcher. 31-year-old Dominican right-hander Eduardo Rivera of Gigantes de Carolina is second among all pitchers with an ERA of 1.36, 39 2/3 innings, and 6 earned runs surrendered. Second in the league in wins, 1 win behind the league leader. First in strikeouts with 42, strikeouts per 9 of 9.5, whip 109. This has all come in 8 starts and 1 relief appearance in which he recorded a save. His ERA was a league-leading 0.98 going into this week, but his last start didn't go well. No longer the ERA leader, but he's thrown more innings and won more games than the leader, a teammate of his. So as far as I can see, he's still the best. Rivera played in the Major League system from 2011 to 2018 as a Yankees, Angels, and Giants prospect. Never got past the level of high single A. Since then, 1 season in Panama, 1 in the LMB, 2 in the Atlantic League, and now 2 in Puerto Rico. In the Cuban Elite League, which is the new winter league comprised of the top 6 teams from the summer's Cuban National Series, the 40-game season will end on Christmas, just a few days from now. The best in the Elite League is Frederick Cepeda of Sancti Spiritus. With a .381 batting average, he's 1,000th of a point behind the league leader. Cepeda is the league leader in on-base percentage, .507, and slugging .566, for a league-leading OPS of 1073, number 1 in walks with 30, tied for 3rd in home runs with 5. The 43-year-old outfielder is a switch hitter who's been in the National Series since 1997, almost all of that time with Sancti Spiritus. He's also played 1 summer with the Yomiuri Giants of NPB, and once with Toros de Tijuana of the LMB. Venezuela's LVBP will be all done with in less than a week. They've played just over 50 games, about 5 games to go. 29-year-old shortstop Jose Rondon of Leones del Caracas leads the league with 13 home runs. Number 2 on the list only has 9. He's got 16 doubles, tied for the league lead. Batting .340, on-base percentage .417. League leader in total bases with 124, slugging .629, and OPS .1046. Tied for 5th in RBI with 38. His Leones team is in second place, getting ready for the postseason. Rondon played for 4 MLB teams in 4 seasons between 2016 and 2021. His best season was in 2021 with the Cardinals when he had a .735 OPS in 63 games. Last summer he played for Toros de Tijuana of the LMB, hitting 11 home runs in 72 games. He's played for a few different teams in the Venezuelan League, every winter since 2014. Colombia's league, the LPB, has 1 more week to go in its 40-game regular season. The best right now is 38-year-old Venezuelan infielder Daniel Mayora of Vaqueros de Monteria. He leads all batters in on-base percentage, .412, batting .330, RBI 21, and hits 37. He's hit 2 home runs, which, believe it or not, puts him in a tie for second, more than 30 games into the season. He's not dominating these stats, but he's the only name that appears in almost every statistical category. For the moment, we've got to say he's the best in Colombia. Mayora played in the minors from 2005 to 2015, reaching the AAA level in the Rays system a dozen years ago. He spent his summers in Mexico every year since 2017, and played in the Venezuelan League every year from 2008 up until last year. The Mexican Winter League, LMP, will conclude its season next week. Another pitcher here, but a different kind this time. I normally don't like to choose a reliever as a league's best player, but here I've got to make an exception. 28-year-old American closer Peyton Gray of Algodoneros de Guasave has made 26 relief appearances, totaling 25 innings, and has yet to allow a run. No earned runs for an ERA of 0 through 25 innings. 10 hits, 10 walks for a whip of 0.80. 38 strikeouts, giving him a strikeouts per 9 innings rate of 13.7, and he leads all LMP closers with 17 saves. Gray was a Rockies and Royals prospect from 2012 to 2021. The highest he got was AA in the Royals system, and he didn't do well there. But last year with Milwaukee in the American Association, he had a 1.38 ERA and 39 innings of relief with 64 strikeouts, whip 0.77. This hasn't gone unnoticed. Last week he was signed by the Cincinnati Reds. 1 more Winter League and we go to the other side of the planet for this one. The Australian Baseball League is only halfway through its 40-game schedule, so whoever we select here is kind of like a mid-season MVP. The best player in the league by the end of the season could be someone totally different. The best in the ABL as of right now would have to be Adelaide Giants pitcher Lachlan Wells. 4 starts, 22 innings, no earned runs allowed, a record of 3-0, whip 0.55, 36 strikeouts for a strikeouts per 9 rate of 14.7. It's only 4 starts, so if he has 1 bad start, it could ruin all those good numbers. But he's outperforming all other pitchers, so for now, we got to say he's the best. The 26-year-old lefty was a Minnesota Twins prospect from 2015 to 2019, reaching high single A. This is his 5th ABL season, but his first one in 3 years. He had taken some time away from baseball and wasn't playing anywhere the last 3 years. If he was rusty at all, it's not showing. Over to East Asia, no doubt who the best player in Japan's NPB was this year. 25-year-old pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto of the Oryx Buffaloes dominated on the mound in what will be his last year in NPB. 23 starts, 164 innings, an average of more than 7 innings per start. 169 strikeouts, about 1 per inning on average. 16 wins, 6 losses, ERA 121, whip 0.884. He led the league in all those categories, winning the pitcher's triple crown for the 3rd straight year, won the Sawamura Award, given annually to the best pitcher in NPB, for the 3rd straight year, and won the Pacific League MVP Award for the 3rd straight year. Yamamoto has been playing for the Buffaloes since 2017. A reliever at first, he was converted to a starter in 2019. Helped his team to 3 consecutive Pacific League pennants from 2021 to 2023, a Japan Series title in 2022. Pitched for Japan in the Olympics, Premier 12, and WBC, helping them to the gold medal each time. And just hours ago, signed with the LA Dodgers for the 2024 season. In Korea's KBO, the best in 2023 was 30-year-old starting pitcher Eric Fetty of the NC Dinos. 30 starts, 180 innings, 20 wins, 6 losses, ERA 2.0, whip 0.95, 209 strikeouts and only 35 walks, won the pitcher's triple crown, took his team to the playoffs. He was awarded the Choi Dong-won Award, the award given to the KBO's best pitcher, and was awarded the MVP for the 2023 KBO season. Fedde made 88 starts for the Washington Nationals from 2017 to 2022. 2023 was his first and only season in the KBO. After posting such dominant numbers, he was drawing interest from MLB and NPB teams, and just last week signed a 2-year, $15 million deal with the Chicago White Sox. In Taiwan's CPBL, just like in NPB and KBO, the best player was a pitcher, and the CPBL's best pitcher was 33-year-old Drew Gagnon of the Weichuan Dragons. He made 30 starts, 183 innings, 13 wins, 7 losses, ERA 3.0, WHIP 116, 155 strikeouts. First in wins, strikeouts, innings, and WHIP. Third in ERA. Also first in FIP and wins above replacement among pitchers. Led his team to the Taiwan Series title and won the 2023 CPBL MVP award. Drew's had quite the journey. Started out as a Brewers prospect in 2011, reached the AAA level a couple times with them. But it was with the Mets that he got his shot at the big leagues, throwing 35 2/3 innings in 2018 and 2019 in New York. Pitched in the KBO for the Kia Tigers in 2020, and he's been in the CPBL for 3 years now, all with the Dragons. Also played a winter in Venezuela while he was coming up through the minors. Back to the Americas, the Cuban National Series has some good pitchers, but it's mostly a hitters league, and the best of those hitters was 36-year-old infielder Dayan Garcia of Artemisa. His line for the season: 377, 487, 627, fourth in batting, third in on-base percentage, first in slugging, 15 home runs, putting him in a tie for third. That was in 59 games. Tied for fourth in hits with 59. Helped his team to a tie for third in the final standings. Garcia has played 13 seasons in the Cuban National Series since 2005. Plenty of missed seasons, 4 years in a row from 2014 to 2017. He's collected over 1,000 hits in that time. He played this winter in Nicaragua, where he had an .896 OPS, one of the league's top hitters. In Mexico's Summer League, the LMB, there are a few players I could have gone with. Fernando Salas was the league MVP, led the league with 20 saves and an ERA of 147. But as I said earlier, I don't like going with a reliever, only in the most extreme cases, as we see in the other Mexican league. Fernando Villegas batted .390 for the batting title, .452 on-base percentage, 16 home runs. But I'll go with 37-year-old DH Chris Carter. He started the season with Acereros de Monclova, but early in the year moved over to Pericos de Puebla. He hit 22 home runs in 63 games, slashed .280, .449, .685, for an OPS of 1134, the league leader in slugging and OPS, near the top in on-base percentage, and that was after a really slow start in his first 9 games with Monclova. After going to Puebla, he had a 1225 OPS in 54 games. One reason he did not win the season MVP was probably because he missed over 20 games, but when he was there, he was the best hitter. He didn't go entirely without an MVP award, though. He helped lead Puebla to the Serie del Rey title and was named MVP for the final series. Carter played 8 seasons in MLB from 2010 to 2017 for 4 different teams. In 2016 with the Brewers, he led the National League with 41 home runs, though he also led the league in strikeouts and batted just .222. A year later, his home run total dropped and his strikeouts remained high. 2018 was his last year in the Major League system, and he's been in the LMB since 2019. In Major League Baseball, 2 MVP awards are given out. Ronald Acuna Jr. got the award in the National League, and he did have an amazing year. Led the league in on-base percentage, OPS, OPS+, total bases, stolen bases, hits, runs, at-bats, and plate appearances. 41 home runs, 35 doubles, and 106 RBI. But the best in all of Major League Baseball was LA Angels DH and pitcher Shohei Ohtani. Led the league in home runs with 44, almost led in all slash-line categories, batted .304, and led the league with a .412 on-base percentage, .654 slugging, and .1066 OPS. Also topped the league in OPS+ and total bases, 8 triples and 20 stolen bases. As a pitcher, he made 23 starts through 132 innings, win-loss record of 10-5, ERA 3.14, WHIP 106, 167 strikeouts, for a strikeouts per 9 rate of 11.4. His numbers as a DH would have been good enough for the MVP. The pitching numbers added to it make his 2023 season one of the best ever. 29-year-old Otani started his career with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters of NPB, played 5 years there from 2013 to 2017. He was a 5-time All-Star, 2-time Best 9 selection as a pitcher, and once a Best 9 as a DH, Pacific League MVP and Japan Series champion. In his 5 Major League seasons, he's now won 2 MVP awards, Rookie of the Year, 2 Silver Sluggers, a top 5 Cy Young finish, and 3 All-Star selections. After 5 years with the Angels, he'll be a Dodger in 2024. And that's it, the best players from 19 different leagues around the world in 2023. Interesting that the best players in Korea, Taiwan, Nicaragua, and both Mexican leagues were American. The best in America was Japanese. The best in Puerto Rico was Dominican. The best in the Dominican Republic from Panama. Next year we can add a Middle Eastern league to the list here. Wonder where the best from that league will come from. Anyway, that's all for this one. Until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya.